Welcome back, guys. It's another episode of the Bark Recap. We're going to kick it off with the NRL game from last week, a 36-24 loss to the Raiders. There was 47 missed tackles by the Dogs, and almost 50% of them were from the leaders of the team, Matt Burton, Reid Marnie, and Kikau. Kikau, only a couple of games back from his long injury layoff, so he could be forgiven a little bit with his 7 missed tackles. But the other two, it's been happening every week. The numbers in missed tackles are just too high. I don't know whether the leadership is weighing them down or what, but it's not only missed tackles but penalties as well. I think with Reid Marnie, I think he probably needs to have a spell in the middle part of the game, freshen him up. I'd look to bring on whoever the 14 is, and it's been Kyle Flanagan, so maybe Flanagan comes on in the middle part of the game, and then Reid Marnie comes on for the last quarter. It might just stiffen the middle up a little bit, having a fresher body. Anyway, 6 penalties to 2 really hurt us as well. And when errors from senior players or leaders are compounded by penalties, and some of them late in the tackle count, we had just next to no chance to put us in a position to win the game. We just don't have the forward dominance to turn the situation completely around in a short period of time. At the moment, we have to grind, and that means discipline, and it's just not there. So that means, not kicking out on the full, not giving away 7 tackles by kicking the ball dead, giving opportunities by giving dumb penalties away, as I said, late in the count, not hitting and sticking with the first contact. It's happening way too much, and missing one-on-ones in defence, which lead to tries. Yeah, but I thought the effort was much better. Obviously, well in this game for a large portion of it. I thought the effort was a lot better than the week before, and that was typified by a really good try-saving tackle by Averillo on Horsburgh. I thought was good to see, plus a really good tackle by Kyle Flanagan late in the game. I thought he was certainly going to score, but his anticipation was fantastic. He read that, and was one of the highlights of the game for me. With Kikau, I thought there was a turning point in the game where he was penalised on Rapana, and it could have gone the other way. And then they got downfield, and then they scored, and it was 22-18, and that sort of changed the game. Rapana, he just gets away with so much. It's bloody ridiculous. So in New South Wales Cup, we had a 40-12 loss to the Raiders. Try scorers were Kai Ward got 2 and Skelton got 1, and we didn't kick a goal. Looking at the stats, the best of the numbers, Moran played 80 minutes at lock and made 41 tackles and only missed a couple, 4 or 5, so not too bad. And Jaden Tanner made 39 tackles and played 50 to 55 minutes, around that mark. So that's pretty good. The run meters, Skelton was the top with 169 metres, and Kai Ward wasn't too far behind that, around the 150 mark as well. So they're now dropped to 8th, and it's a top 5 finals, so we're relying on results this weekend. We have to beat the Sea Eagles, of course, and then we have to hope that at least 2 of Newtown, Penrith and the Raiders lose. Now, Newtown has the Knights. The Knights do have their good days. They could beat them. Penrith play the Eels. Not too hopeful there. Seen the Eels play some terrible games this year. And the Raiders play the top of the table Bears, which they could lose. It probably depends on what type of team the Bears field for that game, but they're assured of coming first, so I'm not sure. But it also could depend on the Roosters and who they need to be playing in reserve grade. So let's hope that we get that 2 of those 3 teams lose and we beat the Sea Eagles on Sunday, which is played at 11:35 before the NRL game at Accor, and we've named a pretty inexperienced team. There's a few selections that I was quite surprised by. I don't mind, but in a big game, maybe we're not too concerned about winning, or maybe there's just players unavailable again. I'm not too sure. Hayes Perham is out. I don't know why. He's not named at fullback. Rajab has gone back to fullback. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. Lachlan Vale is named in the second row, Jersey Flegg player. He's had some good games in Jersey Flegg, but this is his first game in Cup, I believe. Josh Kaladi's named at lock, starting. He usually comes off the bench. And Harry Hayes and Damon Marshall, both Jersey Flegg players coming off the bench. Jersey Flegg do have a game as well this weekend, but they can't finish worse than second, so they're seeing this as a bit of an opportunity to give a few blokes a go in Cup and freshen up the Jersey Flegg team. Or maybe, give a few guys a bit of a run in Jersey Flegg before the finals. Anyway, we'll just have to see how that plays out. But anyway, good luck. Hopefully the results go our way in New South Wales Cup. So Jersey Flegg had a 32-10 loss to the Raiders. Tries to William Afualo and Masaki Ravanu. And Joash kicked one goal. I didn't get to see the game. Obviously, it wasn't televised or streamed. And all I was told was that it wasn't a very good day down in the capital with both grades losing. So, looking at the team, we had Carl Alawapu played 5/8, his first game back for a while. And Damon Marshall played lock. And on the bench, I noticed Masaki Ravanu, who hasn't played all year. He actually had I think he did an ACL in the middle of last year. I think he's a winger centre. He's a Fijian kid, and I think he might be part of the Kikau Academy. And, he was named on the bench. And Geordie Mazzoni was 19th or 18th man. I found that a bit strange, a guy that hasn't played all year. But anyway, there's a bit of rotation policy seems to be going on there. Maybe since they've wrapped up second position, they decided to give some game time to certain players. And so looking at this week, they've got Manly tonight at Belmore at 7 p.m. And looking at the team list, they haven't named a 5/8, so we'll have to see if Carl Alawapu does in fact play 5/8 again. And they've got Fami Tolalo at lock. Usually he comes off the bench, but obviously with a couple of those guys, Damon Marshall and Lachlan Vale going up to Cup, it's given an opportunity there for Fami Tolalo. And Luan Vito is named at second row, as well as Luke Smith. So it gives them a bit more extra game or starting game time. And so that'll be interesting to see how they go tonight. On the bench, they've got Cameron Lawrence, Jake Underhill, and Tim Johansson. So all those guys haven't played too much over the last month. So giving them more time as well. And Diego Bravo Graham, who I was a big fan of in Harold Matson SG Ball. So it's good to see he's still involved in the club, and hopefully he'll get more chance to impress. But I was surprised that Geordie Mazzoni is sitting on the reserves. I don't know if it's a question of fitness or whatever, but Gabriel as well. It might simply be the fact that they just want to give some game time to certain players before the finals, since second is wrapped up. And the Clydesdales lost. Both the teams lost to the Mackay Cutters. The 21s lost narrowly by 2 points. So that completes their season. They're rebuilding and they're laying the foundations in their first season back. So congratulations on the season, and we look forward to season 2024 and laying the pathways, continuing to lay the pathways for these boys to the Bulldogs. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next week. Have a good weekend, guys.